You and I, we're responsible for our own flourishing. We're responsible for not letting our happiness depend on external circumstances. We shouldn't let the rain, annoying strangers, or a leaking washing machine decide upon our well-being. Otherwise, we become helpless victims of life circumstances out of hand. As a Stoic student, you learn that only you can ruin your life, and only you can refuse to let your inner self be conquered by whatever nasty challenge life throws at you. So, Stoicism teaches us to live by a set of values that contribute to emotional resilience, calm confidence, and a clear direction in life. Just like an old, reliable walking stick, it's a guide to life based on reason rather than faith, a guide that supports us in the pursuit of self-mastery, perseverance, and wisdom. Stoicism makes us better human beings and teaches us how to excel in life. Its powerful psychological techniques are almost identical to the ones that are now proven to be effective by research in the scientific study called positive psychology. I'm not accusing the researchers of theft, but the exercises discussed in positive psychology look suspiciously similar to the ones the Stoics used over 2,000 years ago. The fact that modern research often goes hand in hand with what the Stoics taught makes the philosophy even more appealing. On top of that, Stoicism isn't rigid, but open and looking for the truth. As a Latin saying goes, Zeno, founder of Stoicism, is our friend, but truth is an even greater friend. If we look around, we see countless people who pursued their dreams of a golden mansion, a Porsche 911, and a six-figure job. And yet, they're not happier than before with the moldy flat, the rusty old car, and the cheap job. They're living by a formula that looks something like this. If you work hard, you'll be successful. And once you're successful, then you'll be happy. Or if I finish, achieve such and such, then I'll be happy. The only problem? This formula is broken. And after following this formula for years, these people are wondering, is this really all life has to offer? No, it's not. The point is, many people don't get any happier when they grow older. They don't improve whatsoever. They mindlessly stroll through life lacking clear direction, repeatedly make the same mistakes, and won't be any closer to a happy and meaningful life in their 80s than they were in their 20s. It should really be a no-brainer for many of us to adopt a philosophy of life that offers guidance, direction, and a larger meaning to life. Without that compass, there's the risk that despite all our well-intentioned actions, we'll run in circles, chase worthless things, and end up living an unfulfilling life full of emotional suffering, regrets, and frustration. And since it doesn't take much effort to give Stoicism a chance as your guiding philosophy of life, there's really nothing to lose and much to gain. The promise of this book is really the promise of Stoic philosophy. It teaches how to live a supremely happy and smoothly flowing life, and how to retain that even in the face of adversity. It prepares you to be ready for anything, like a tower of strength, unshakable, deep-rooted, emotionally resilient, and surprisingly calm and mindful, even in the midst of a hellfire. Stoicism can improve your life in good times, but it's in bad times when its efficacy becomes most apparent. It can be the light showing you the way through pitch-black depressive moments. It holds your hand when you need confidence to minimize emotional suffering by taming the bad guys like anger, fear, and grief. It can be your stepping stool to reach that tranquility you need when you're knee-deep in shit. It can be your strong backbone when you need to act courageously, even if you're shaking like a leaf. It can be the clown that wakes you up and casts a smile on your face when you need it the most. In short, Stoicism not only shows you the way, but also hands you the key to the good life. All you need to do is walk the path, turn the key, and enter. So, Stoic teacher Epictetus asks, how long are you going to wait? How long are you going to wait before you demand the best of yourself? You're no longer a child but a full-grown person, and yet you procrastinate, Epictetus reminds himself. You will not notice that you are making no progress, but you will live and die as someone quite ordinary. From now on, he warns himself, and all of us, to live like a mature human being and never set aside what you think is best to do. And whenever you encounter anything difficult, remember that the contest is now, you're at the Olympics. You cannot wait any longer. We don't have the luxury of postponing our training, because unlike the Olympic Games, the contest we participate in every day, life, has already begun. Life is right now. It's about time to start our training. Training in Stoicism is a bit like surfing, little theory and lots of practice. Right now, you can't wait to get started, and you imagine yourself standing on the surfboard, hitting wave after wave, having the time of your life. Wait, I have to stop you right there, because in your first surf lesson, you get to learn some theoretical aspects of surfing too. On the dry land, you practice how to paddle, pop up, and stand on the board. In other words, the first part feels annoying. You just wanted to surf. You didn't sign up for that dry theory lesson. Surprisingly quickly, you make it through the theory part and you get to enter the water, flush out the sandy mouth, and start your practice. In the water, you quickly realize that it's not so easy, and the theory part was actually necessary. It's the same with Stoicism. You'll get to hit the waves, but if you want to hit them successfully and not give up after the first few, many nosedives, you first need to understand some of the theory behind surfing. Stoicism. I sought to organize this book and present the ancient wisdom in an accessible, digestible, and highly functional way. In the first part, you'll learn about the promise of the philosophy, its history, main philosophers, and about the core principles presented as the Stoic happiness triangle. Study that triangle, and you're able to explain the philosophy to a 5-year-old. The second part is all about hitting the waves. It's crammed with practical advice and exercises for everyday living. My ultimate aim of this direct and straightforward approach to Stoicism is to help you live a better life. I believe we can all become a little wiser and happier by practicing this wonderful philosophy. It's time to dive in.